host. I'm Wes Johnson. I've been a local church pastor for 34 years, and now I'm putting all my effort into Grace Cubed Ministries. Now, Grace Cubed means grace to the third power, in other words, to the third dimension. God called me about 6 years ago now to focus my effort and my ministry on the scriptural teaching of entire sanctification and what I call holy maturity. Now, this is really the historic emphasis that has been labeled as the holiness movement. My roots are in Methodism, the heritage of John and Charles Wesley in 18th century England. But ultimately, my roots are really in the scriptural teachings of the Old and the New Testaments. One of the greatest mentors for me in my effort to understand what this holy maturity is really all about has been Oswald Chambers. Through his devotional book, My Utmost for His Highest, which is a classic devotion. I first was introduced to this devotion book back in 1984. This was a copy that was given to me by my parents on my ordination. And so I looked at this book. It's kind of going off the lights here a little bit, but I read this book on and off for years. I found it profound. I found it stirring, but I also found it a bit confusing and really even overwhelming. And so it never became an important or a regular part of my devotional readings. It really wasn't until several years ago now, a devotion was read from it in a men's study group that I'm a part of, and it caused me to think about Oswald Chambers in this book again. And so I actually picked up a biography of Oswald Chambers, and his life was an amazing story. And I began to realize that Oswald Chambers was teaching the exact thing that God had called me to be teaching. And so I started reading this devotional book again, and I haven't put it down since. It's been 2.5 years now, almost daily. Some days I have to catch up. But my wife has also joined me in that time as well. She has been reading through it and for the last about 2 years now. It's been interesting. There's been some times where we will have been doing our devotions, and then all of a sudden we'll just kind of spontaneously begin to talk about something that Oswald had said. And it has led to some really powerful and meaningful discussions for us. It's given us some realizations of things and even convictions about things that we didn't really have before. And our sharing together and talking about it has really been helpful to stir both of us up. God kind of laid on my heart recently that I needed to open up, or we needed to open up these conversations to others, because they may also find him a bit confusing and overwhelming at times, as you may have read Oswald Chambers. So starting Monday, January 25th at 10 a.m., we are going to every Monday do a Facebook Live time, probably about 20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes, kind of we'll see how that goes. We don't want it to go very long, but we're going to take a look at the past week of those devotions, and we're going to talk about what we have learned and gleaned from Oswald Chambers through that past week. And we want to ask you to join in. When we're doing it on Facebook Live, you can join in on the comment section. Pam will be watching that especially for us. And so if you have questions, if you have insights that you have found, I really invite you to join us in reading those daily readings of Chambers, and then share those in that comment section. If you can't do it on Monday mornings at 10, you can watch it later on. And again, we invite you to send any comments, any questions, any insights that you have, and we can apply those as is appropriate for the next week maybe. And so we really want to begin this type of discussion, this type of talking about these important understandings, this important teaching of the scriptures of entire sanctification, of holy maturity, and get a greater understanding, a greater grasp of it, but also to experience it. And how do we live in that? Oswald Chambers is amazing in really even speaking to us today. He wrote over 100 years ago, but it really speaks to us today. So Pam and I are really excited about how God is going to be honored through this time, And we're excited about how all of us are going to be blessed as a result of this time. So join us next Monday, 10 a.m. if you're able to, or later on. Just check out the Facebook Live page of Grace Cube Ministries, and we look forward to having you a part of this. Thanks so much for joining on this post. Okay, we're able to say if we want to save or delete it.